everybody! Hope you don't mind, I am rocking a very messy bun today, but a very fierce eye look. I have decided to follow through on bringing you a weekly look on Fridays with my palettes, in addition to my regular content, not instead of. But when I brought up the idea in the description box of a recent video, so many of you were in support of that, because you just want more how-tos, more inspiration, and I'm all about that. So I thought I would cover a couple of requests in this video, plus some things that I just personally wanted to do, but I'd been asked to work Top Story, the gold in my Once palette, into a look. Also a fall look. It's still hot where I am, but yes, I am always excited for a nice fall eye, and I feel like that's definitely what this is. I worked in some red into this look. I also worked in the biggest unsung hero of the palette, which might be Dark and Early, my black, and also a fun little green pop, because while I do think there are a lot of ways you can stay in the same color zone, you know, with an entire eye look, it's fun to mix and match and see how different, more unlikely colors work together. And then you see the whole look and you're like, yeah, that actually totally makes sense. But as I'm sitting here talking right now, the palettes are currently out of stock on Ulta's website, and I will let you know as soon as I find out more info, or I will like add it to my editing here on the bottom if I get a new detail before this video goes up on that. But they are in stock on revolutionbeautyusa.com and revolutionbeauty.com. Being out of stock on Ulta's website is crazy. Many of you have taken pictures of the either dwindling supply or sold out displays in your local Ultas, and that's just wild to see also. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy this look with the Once palette. First off, as always, I'm going to apply an eye primer. Right now, I'm kind of going through this tube of Urban Decay Anti-Aging Primer Potion. Really similar texture to the Milani eyeshadow primer. I did recently pick up an extra of the Milani, because I know that's what I'll be going to next. But just press that into the lid and then pull it up through the crease and up to the brow. Then I think I'm going to use a little bit of Heartbeat to start things off, and I'm going to apply this to the crease. While this shade does have some shimmer, it is deep enough, I think, to provide a little dimension. And as you can see, it's quite pigmented. It picks up on the brush really, really great. So I'm just buffing that into my crease with my Sigma E25 brush. I do feel like there's some shades in this palette that definitely apply better than they swatch. I think 95% of them swatch fantastically, but then there'll be times where, I don't know, you just maybe don't pick it up perfectly on your finger and then it doesn't give you that fully opaque swatch. But I've never felt swatches tell the whole story, and especially with the mattes in this palette, I did want them to be buildable mattes that wouldn't overwhelm a look in an instant and wouldn't create powdery fallout. So these are products that were definitely tested big time in practice, you know, in application. So that's what's most important to me, obviously. Now I think I'll just blend over the edge of that a little bit with a bare brush, and we'll think about what we want to do for the highlight. I think I will use a little bit of Oh Heavens today, which is our shimmery highlight. I kind of see it as two distinct, highlighter options here. Cupcake could be a highlight too, maybe on a little bit richer skin tones, or lightly on my skin tone. It could probably work that way as well. And for this look, once I establish what's going on the lid, I'm going to go back and we're going to further intensify the reddish look that's happening here in the crease. But I've had some big requests to do a look with Top Story, so I'm going to pick up some of that shade. It's a beautiful gold, and I'm going to just make this short little bit of a swiping stroke right here with that color on the inner half of my eyelid. This kind of shade, especially near a red, really makes me think fall. Just give it a little gentle swipe. I've seen a lot of really cool, like, monochromatic looks out of this palette, like people using all pinky tones or all kind of purpley tones or all green tones. So I think it's kind of cool that it allows you to stay in a color family, or you can do the kind of thing I'm doing with this look and really scramble it up, as you'll see on the lower lash line as well. I'm also going to grab Oh Heavens again, our light shimmer, and just give myself a little pop of that right around the inner corner. Love it as an inner corner highlight. Now I want to work in a shade that is a real unsung hero in this palette, and it's Dark and Early. It's my black here. It's so intense and it's so easy to use. It has a good sort of mobility across the eye. So I'm really a fan of this shade, and it can quickly intensify, you know, any look that you do if you just want to add a little bit of it. So I'll show you exactly how much of this I'm picking up. I'm taking my flat brush, I'm just dabbing it in like that. Just one gentle press into the pan, and then you've got a lot of intensity, and I'm gonna begin dabbing this on probably 2/3 of the lid. I'm going for more of a dark lid look here with just a small pop of gold. So it's gonna overlap your gold a little bit and it's gonna go on the outer corner. You can also flip your brush and get that nicely packed into your crease also if you want. And we are applying this when it's dark and early, so it's perfect. With these matte shadows, I just like a nice little patting motion. Build it up slowly. That's always been the way I like to apply shadows, is to not have zhunk, you know, like a huge bunch of color on my eyelid to deal with all at once, but I like to build it slowly. So these shadows kind of mesh with my desired style, you know, for putting on shadow. Although keep in mind with that black, I'm just picking up a little on my brush to allow me to do that. You definitely could be a little overwhelmed by that shade if you pick up too much. But I love how I'm putting this on and I'm not experiencing any powdery fallout anywhere, you know, on my eye, on my cheek or anything. Now, like I said, I'm going to come in and intensify the red a little bit with my matte red shade in here called Cheer. And what I love about this red is that it's not a full-on like fire engine red, but it's not burgundy either. We've got burgundy in this palette, but it's like a rich, slightly deepened red. And I'm taking this with a small brush. Sometimes I mistakenly, yep, I picked up my MUA 315, but it's essentially the same thing as that little Morphe brush that I use as well, just interchangeably. I don't even know the difference when I see the end of them. They are exactly the same. But I love this level of red because it does show up as red, but it's just got a little wearable richness to it. And so I'm like pulling that shade inward, right in here. I'm actually applying it straight to the crease and just letting it buff outward a little bit. So see, the first place you put your brush is where the highest concentration of color is going to go. So I'm getting it right there in the crease. I'm doing little circular motions, and then I'm just letting it kind of radiate outward. Not in a real pronounced outer V, but just kind of equally coming out from every part of my eye. So much beautiful richness and intensity out of that shade. I just can't get over it. You want fall, you got fall, baby. I'm gonna take my blending brush again. I use a Sigma E40 Bear, and like to use that to just go around my edges. Just a light amount of pressure and you can kind of take the edge off a little bit of some areas. And now that we have blended a bit and overlapped, I like to take this handy dandy Sigma E47 brush. It's a really nice shape and size. I'm gonna go into Top Story, our gold again, and I'm just going to re-intensify that just a little bit. Show them who's boss. I just want that little splash of this shade coming up out of the inner corner and gently overlapping some of the black. I'm gonna go ahead and line my upper lash line. Today I'm playing with this M Cosmetics liquid liner pen. This actually has a brush tip, and I'm just gonna quickly go across the upper lash line. And I'm gonna give it a slight wing. So easy to use. I do have to go over my line just a little bit in here. As you can see, when we're going over that really intense gold, I had to build up the liner just a little bit, but overall, it's a very easy application. Next up, we're gonna do a green, kind of an olivey green color in our lower inner rim. And this is from Maybelline. It's their Lasting Drama Matte in Jade Olive. And I've experimented with this in my waterline before. And while it goes on very smoothly, like if you were to just put this on traditional eye skin, it would go on pretty smooth. On my waterline, I don't know, the color doesn't seem to be as intense. I am gonna just go ahead and put it there anyway. And I'm also gonna go ahead and smudge it sort of within my lash line too. Makes anything in your waterline look a little less stark when you do that. I guess I don't do that with, you know, the light liners that I put in my lower inner rim, but dark liners, this helps. Then I'm shooting for a rich forest green lower lash line. So we're gonna go into Corduroy, and I'm gonna use my angled brush. So this is a nice matte forest green. I'm gonna bring that up under my wing. And so we're starting with application on the lower lash line in a very precise way. You know, we're using an angled brush. We're putting our shadow right where we want it. And then we're gonna go in with a softer brush, and we're gonna create a little bit more of a diffused look here. Next, I'm going to take Side Hustle, and I'm using my Sigma E21 smudge brush, which is still a pretty pinpointed brush, but less precise than my angled brush. And I'm going to go over everything I just did there. And this just kind of softens it up, really makes that olive a prominent part of what's happening. And then I love pulling in a little bit of Grateful whenever I'm doing a greenish look because it makes everything kind of pop. So I'm going to put that here in the inner part and sort of pull it over the darker greens. And I'm bringing that in truly right up to the tear duct. Next, I'm going to put on some mascara top and bottom, and I'm thinking about some wispies lashes with this look, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I love the way this look turned out. I love the combination of the gold, the red, black, and then this green pop on the lower lash line that isn't like screaming at you, but it's the exact way I like to incorporate color. So all I did, I put on mascara top and bottom, and then I put on these lashes. They are not wispies actually. They are a style from Kiss that I'm gonna have to double check, but they're kind of similar. They're just a little longer on the outsides. Then my lip color today, I pulled out this lipstick from L'Oreal. It's called Jennifer's Nude. I don't think this is anything especially new, but that felt to me kind of like a cool nude on the lips, and then I decided to warm it up just slightly with the M Cosmetics Gloss in Secret Blush. In my face colors, I'm trying out this contour book that I got from Sephora. It's from Kevin Aquan. I've never tried any palettes from his line, so I am using like kind of a mix of the sculpting shades, and this is my blush. It's pretty soft, you know, intensity wise, but I do think it's beautiful. Cool packaging on the outside there also. Sorry about the hair. When one spends this much time slaving over their eye makeup, they just can't be bothered to pull together the hair. You guys understand. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this look, and stay tuned on Fridays. I'm going to be coming at you with some more natural looks as well. We'll see what I can do. I may even cram a couple looks into one video. But thank you so much for all the love and support. It is overwhelming, it is amazing, and I will see you very soon. Bye.